will switch us over to screen share and just give me a thumbs up when you guys can see the slides. All right. Welcome to our February 27th, 2015 Team BTFP family-wide team call. This is for everybody in our entire downline, so it's very exciting, and hopefully we'll be able to open up and fit more people in soon. I know that it's probably frustrating for you guys that have new coaches that want to get on and can't. So I'm going to try and make sure I can get that fixed really soon for all of us. But tonight we're going to be talking about the one thing that you can do every month to really supercharge your business and create success. But before we jump into that, I wanted to celebrate, we did it in our team page, but I want to celebrate our Success Club rock stars for February. We have 2 days left, so this is not the official February board because I know that some stuff will shift, but this is just incredible, and I know that I posted it in our team page, but we've held some ridiculous number. What was it, 437 or something crazy high of people this month as a team, which is something to be so proud about. Everybody on this board contributed to it, whether you have 20-something points or just one, you contributed to helping that number of people, and that is something to be proud about. If your name's in pink, it means you're on the brink and you are so super duper close. You just need one more person to get hooked up to jump you over the edge. And then everybody else that's on the board, you still have time. Don't think that because it's the end of the month you can't hit Success Club. You can't go from 0 to 6 or from 2 to 5 or whatever it is. You absolutely can. And I know that February is just going to be, I got something from corporate. They said that February has been the best month in Beachbody history. So that's just crazy. But it just shows that, everybody is growing and expanding and doing so great. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. This is our new thing I'm going to be doing, Top Coach of the Week. It was Christina, who I don't think can join us because she usually works, so she'll have to see us all celebrate her on the recording later. But Christina had 900 in personal volume this week, which is just insane. I don't know if you guys follow Lindsay Matway. She's my coach, but she'll do a leaderboard and she'll say like the 1,000 club, and it's always like Melanie Mitro and like people who are just like crazy high. So Christina is so close to being in that 1,000 club. So, and she is just a normal person like me and you. She's nothing crazy. She's not, the number one coach in the company. So just showing what normal people can do when they have, some dedication and heart and consistency. She's Success Club 10 qualified for the month. So I just wanted to celebrate that as well, because not only is she just doing an incredible job with her own business, getting a bunch of people hooked up with cool programs that they're going to love, but she's also Success Club 10 qualified and leading from the front. She is the first person to post silly workout photos. She trained and ran the Goofy Challenge for Disney, which means that she ran a half marathon and a marathon back to back, which is just bonkers crazy to me. So she's just pretty much a rock star, superstar. So this week we're celebrating her. She has a place of honor in our team page header for the week. And this is going to be kind of our fun new thing that we do in our team page. Every week, whoever has the highest PV is going to be the top coach of the week. But then I'm also breaking it down to celebrate everybody that had 200 PV, 300, 400, and 500 and above. So congratulations to everybody who was on the list. All of you guys are just doing an incredible job, and you all deserve to have some digital confetti tossed at you. All right. So I found this photo, and I couldn't help it. I thought it was so funny. Every month to see epic growth as a coach. Does anybody have a guess what it is? Don't look at the slides. I'm covering it with my hand as if that would actually help you from seeing it. All right. It's pretty simple, and I'm sure that you guys have guessed it, but it is to run a challenge group every month. Every month, no matter what stage of coaching you're in, no matter if you literally just signed up yesterday or if you've been a coach since I started, if you started with me a year and a half ago, the one thing that you can do that's going to really dramatically help your business grow is to consistently run a challenge group every single month. So what is a challenge group? A challenge group is an online and private accountability group. It is for a set duration of time It doesn't really matter that amount of time. You can pick that as the coach. And it includes daily leadership from you, whoever's in it's coach. And that can take the form of accountability check-ins or just inspirational posts. Whatever it is, it just means that you're there every day helping people stay accountable and plugged in. That leads to accountability for your challengers. So since doing stuff at home and alone can be really isolating and easy to quit, that's why challenge groups are such a beautiful thing. Before challenge groups, people would buy P90X and try it for 2 days and decide that it's way too crazy and it would sit on their shelf for a million years. I mean, how many people did that? I'm guilty. I am a P90X dropout, you guys. I had a ripped copy of it that somebody gave me, and I tried 2 of the workouts. I forget which ones they were, and I was like, hell no, this is crazy. I'm not doing this for 90 days. Not happening. And I didn't do anything, and I had nobody there encouraging me. I had nobody that was going through it with me that could commiserate about how crazy Tony Horton is. And so that's what challenge groups do for people that are doing these programs. It helps give you a place to plug in with like-minded people who are going through the exact same things at the exact same time, and then a leader that helps facilitate the entire thing. That's what it is. So also building community. Why run challenge groups? Well, because people who get to go through challenge groups have better experiences. Like I was saying, it was very common for people before, if they just bought. So before challenge groups, let me give you a little bit of history. The Beachbody community was mostly in message board form and on Beachbody's website. So there were all of these message boards where people could talk to each other, and it was kind of like a massive challenge group, but it wasn't the same vibe because challenge groups are more intimate and they're more one-on-one. And this was just, you know how message boards can be with internet trolls and all kinds of craziness. So, and then, you know, if you didn't know about the message boards and you just bought something off of an infomercial and you had nobody, then you were kind of all alone. So when challenge groups happen, they help people have better experiences overall with the programs because you actually have a better chance of sticking with it and finishing it. So people would have better results. As a coach, why you should run them is for those 2 things, because you care about your challengers on a personal level, and then also because people who have better experiences and better results will give you really great testimonials that you can share. They'll share with you their before and after, like this one of Kara that's so inspiring. They're also going to tell other people about you, or when people notice the incredible change that's happening in their life and ask them what they're doing, they're going to talk about it in a really positive way. So you're going to get referrals that come to you. You're also going to have longer lasting customers because they're going to have something that they know that's there for them. There are so many people who challenge groups are just their new normal. Like they quit their gym membership, they quit their personal trainer, and challenge groups are what they do, and they just stay in challenge group after challenge group after challenge group, and that's just that's what I do. That's my daily accountability, and I know that it's the same for so many other people. And I've been on Shakeology auto ship every month since I signed up as a coach. So my coach, Lindsay, is getting that every single month from me because I'm a long-lasting customer now. Like I'm plugged in. I am fully invested. So you get that as well. And then from your challenge groups, naturally, coaches will arise that will join your team. So those are all some of the benefits of running challenge groups. So let's talk a little bit about the different types of challenges. So the ones that I like to run are month-long challenges. So that's just kind of my sweet spot. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only type of challenge group to be run. And if that's not your sweet spot, you don't have to do it that way. The 30-day challenge is actually more of a newer thing. When I first signed up, people were running longer challenges, like 60 days and 90 days, because all of the programs were longer. Like P90X is a 90-day program, T25 is 10 weeks. So it really wasn't until the 21-day fix that anybody was doing shorter challenge groups. But once I started doing them, I kind of discovered that that's what I love to do because I personally like the idea of committing to 1 month of something. Like I, in my head, can be like, all right, I can power through anything for a month, you know? And I think that a lot of people who are like me feel the same way, where 90 days is a scary commitment. Like I wouldn't want to commit to 3 months of a program. Like I don't even know if I'm going to like it yet, you know? So For me, I like the 1 month. You can also do 21 days. You can do exactly the length of the 21-day fix. You can do 60-day programs or 90-day challenge groups. You can do a free clean eating group that lasts for any amount of time that you want it to. It can be 10 days. It can be a week. It can be 2 weeks. You can do a Shakeology cleanse challenge group that can last as long as you want it to. It can last a week. You can do a 3-day refresh one, which it's pretty self-explanatory how long that one will last. And then you can do any type of challenge you want. You can theme out your challenges. You can kind of make them fun. I did a Pitch Perfect themed one once where every day I had like a goofy photo from the movie, and some of the posts and accountability things were kind of funny. Like we did mermaid dancing one day and everybody had to take a photo of them doing like what Fat Amy does on the ground where she does mermaid dancing. So you can do all kinds of fun stuff. The bones of challenge groups are always the same, which is that, you're in there posting accountability, that it's a private group for people, all that kind of stuff. But how you make it work for you that's really up to you, and you have a lot of freedom to get creative with it. Now, I say that, I don't want you to feel pressure to reinvent the wheel. The month-long challenge group, the 60-day, the 90-day challenge group, that's all already created for you. All of the assignments are already created, and you can find them in the TEAMBTFP files tab of our Facebook group. You can go in there and it's already there for you. So you don't have to do the work of full content creation. You can just tweak it to fit. So this shouldn't be something where you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to come up with 90 days worth of challenge content? You don't have to. Don't freak out. It's all already done. You can take that and then just remold it to fit into what you want to do. Now let's talk about a recipe for a great group, because I have a lot of new coaches ask me, well, how do I know if I'm going to have enough people? Like, what do I do to have a successful group? First of all, I want to say that you're probably going to suck at challenge groups for a time or two. And even if you don't suck, maybe you're not going to feel like you're awesome. Like maybe your first one that you do on your own, you're just going to be like, oh, that wasn't the way I wanted. That's okay. You're never going to get better at something until you actually do it, because then you're going to figure out what works for you. Just like I told you that I ran longer challenge groups in the beginning, and then I ended up settling on month-long challenge groups. That was trial and error, guys. That was me just doing stuff and figuring out what worked for me and what didn't work for me and what seemed to work the best for the challengers that I was attracting. Same with you. Do not be afraid to totally botch your first challenge group. Don't be afraid at all to, mess it up somehow, because you're probably not going to mess it up. What is that? Do you guys see that pink line on my screen? That is so strange. Right. I'm just going to leave it for now. Don't be afraid to mess anything up or be bad at it, because you're always going to get better. And the only way to get better is to do it over and over again. So in my opinion, a recipe for a great group is at least 3 to 5 challengers. Now, I've had people that run small groups all the time and they really love it. They love that more one-on-one vibe. But for me personally, I like the energy of a bigger group. So I like to have at least 3 to 5 challengers. And when I was a new coach, if I didn't have 3 to 5 challengers and maybe I only had 1 or 2, I would find somebody else to team up with that only had 1 or 2, and we would go together, and then we had 4 or 5. So it worked out kind of perfectly. And you can do the same thing. You as a coach set the tone in your challenge groups. So if you're posting excited and you're posting fun things and you're posting at all and your tone and your demeanor is positive, then other people are going to be too. If you're only in there once a day to copy and paste your post from a Google Doc, then the tone is not going to be very good. People are going to pick up on that. You have to interact. You have to lead by example. If you're leading the challenge group, I really encourage you to participate in it as well. Don't just be the coach that checks out and posts accountability things. Like, be in there. Post your own sweaty workout pic. Post pictures of your meals. Teach your challengers how to be a good challenger. When you post your first thing in your challenge group, maybe it's a welcome post, you be the first person that introduces yourself. Show them exactly how to participate and how to have fun and how to make it work for them. In my challenge groups, I post photos of my meals all through the day. I show people how I want them with these really active, really fun groups, because I'm setting that tone and I'm leading by example. Make sure that you encourage your challengers. So you don't need to be living in your challenge groups. I'm not saying that you need to be in there all day, every day, like having it consume your life, but make sure that you check in at least, 2 or 3 times a day and like people's things. When people go in and they update, like it. And if they say something funny, then tell them they were funny. And if they, say that they struggled, then encourage them. And if they tell you a victory that they had, cheer them on. You are the coach. You need to be the cheerleader of the group and feel like they can do it. And even more than that, you just need to make people feel seen. That is really so, so, so important. You don't have to say the perfect thing. You don't have to post the perfect thing. If you can make someone feel like you see them and you understand them and you care about them, that is going to speak volumes about you, and that person is just going to be in love with you. They're going to feel such a connection to you, because we as humans, we just want people to get us, and we want people to see us, and we want to know that we matter to somebody. So if you can do that for your challengers, you're going to have your biggest fans. Keep the energy up, make it fun. If you notice that, things are dragging, maybe come up with some sort of funny thing that day, or just be goofy yourself. Don't be afraid to, it's a private group, don't be afraid to kind of be silly. Celebrate any and all successes. A lot of the time people get really hung up with only viewing success as weight loss on the scale, but challenges are so much more than that. And especially if you kind of like the idea of a challenge group being more than just weight, like if for you a challenge group is more about growing as a person in general and becoming healthier all around, like for me, I really love to have an element of becoming healthier, in your soul and mentally, like how you view yourself, speaking to yourself more kindly, speaking, in more positive ways, and just growing as a person as you also get healthier in your body. So for me, I love to celebrate my challengers' successes that have to do with that have to do with non-scale victories, or have to do with mental victories. Like maybe they made it through the day and they didn't talk bad to themselves. That is a huge success. That deserves to be celebrated too. So try not to focus only on, the expected victories, but really look for any successes that you can celebrate in your challengers and help them stay on track. If you notice someone hasn't talked in a while in your group, maybe send them a private little message and just say, hey, I haven't seen you very much in the group. How are you doing? How's it going? Are you just shy? Or, did you fall off the wagon? Can I help you get back? And just kind of, make sure that you're staying right there in the trenches with your people. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about our TEAMBTFP method with challenges, because I know that there's some new people. And even if you're not new, this is the method that you can pass on to your own coaches and teach them to pass on to their own coaches, because simplicity is the key, and having a simple thing that everybody can learn and duplicate makes everybody's lives easier. So when you're a brand new coach, the very first thing that I would want you to do, if you haven't already, is go through a challenge with me as your coach. Now, this is so that you can get your own progress that you can share and talk about, and also so you can experience what a challenge group is like as a challenger, and you can learn what the whole thing is like. Now, for a lot of you guys, you may have a coach that has already been through a challenge with you, so they kind of skip this first step because they've already done it. So after you've gone through a challenge, then your next step is to start talking about your experience, sharing your progress, sharing what you thought about it, sharing your excitement, and finding 2 to 3 people to join you the next month. So they're not going to be joining your challenge group exactly. They're going to be joining you in mine or in your sponsoring coaches. And this is what's called an apprentice. You'd be acting as an apprentice coach. And that just takes a little bit of the pressure off. So when you're a new coach, the thought of having to lead a challenge group and find enough people all on your own can be a little stressful in those first couple months. So what you do is you just invite people to join you in mine. So it's very much more of a, I've been doing this. This is the amazing experience I've had. If anybody's interested in buddying up with me and being my accountability buddy and my coach's next group, let me know. And that kind of lets you dip your feet into the whole process of sharing and helping someone get an order placed and all of that kind of stuff without all of the responsibility of managing the group. So you would then be an apprentice in my group, which just means that you'd be a participant, and you'd also be kind of doing what I was saying before, where you show people how to be a really good challenger. So you'd be posting, you'd be active every day. And then for the 2 to 3 people you bring in, you would be really encouraging to them. Like you would make sure that your focus was on making sure that they had a really good time too. After you've gone through an apprentice group, you'd start running challenges on your own. And if you need to, you can pair up with other team members. You don't feel like you have to always do everything alone. You can pair up in big groups. You can have 3 or 4 of you come together and co-lead a group all together with all your people. It doesn't matter. But you would start doing them independently of me or your sponsoring coach. And then lastly, as you have business building coaches that sign up and they want to do the same thing, you would teach them the same method. So you would let them go through a challenge with you and then apprentice a challenge with you and then teach them how to step out on their own and do their own challenges. All right, now there are a few requirements to joining a challenge group, and they're really, really, really simple. The first is that they need to have you as their coach, because otherwise, why are they here? You need to be linked as their coach, and then they need to be committed to Shakeology and a Beachbody program for that month. Now, a lot of people, will push back on this and be like, why do people have to be committed to both? Like, this is just a trick to get me on Shakeology, and it's really not about that at all. Challengers that are committed to both the fitness side and the nutrition side historically have the best results. It's just the truth. I've experienced it. Beachbody's talked about it. Other coaches have talked about it. When you're doing both, you're just going to have better results because you're really on top of things. Nutrition is 80% of the battle, and Shakeology really takes a lot of the guesswork out of that for people, and it makes it easy. It's just an easy way to make sure that they're staying on top of their nutrition. The other reason why it's great for people to be committed to both, and this is kind of silly, but it ends up being so true, is that means that they're invested. Like if they just went and they had a downloaded copy of the workout programs, or if a friend just gave them some DVDs, they're not really personally invested in this. And so it's going to be a lot easier for them to give up halfway through. But if they had to actually buy a challenge pack and invest that $140 or $160 in themselves, they're going to be way, way, way more serious about following it through because now they've actually put something out there. You know what I mean? And it's so true. I've seen it happen so many times before. People really need to feel like they're invested in it. And as a coach, this needs to be a requirement that you have for all of your people because you need to know and have faith as a coach that they're taking care of their nutrition and their workouts. That's the best way to know that they're going to have good results. And that's what you want as their coach. You want them to have the best experience possible. There's a couple other silly ones, like I require people be 18 or older. You don't have to be 18 to order from Beachbody, but I personally just kind of set that bar because I don't want to be getting into any murky waters with teenage girls wanting to lose weight and join my challenge groups. And then also, obviously, Beachbody can only ship challenge packs to the United States, including Puerto Rico, Canada, and overseas if someone has a U.S. military base address. So your challengers are limited to that. But that's really it. So the requirements are really, really, really simple. You can make exceptions here and there as stuff happens. I said this in our early bird thing that I make exceptions every now and then if there's a medical reason why someone can't be drinking Shakeology, like they have an allergy or someone in their family does or whatever. But for the most part, these are the rules that I stick with. Now, if you're running a clean eating challenge or something that doesn't have to do with workouts, you can adjust these to fit your challenge group in whatever way you need it to. All right, so how challenge packs help your business. Challenge packs or how challenge groups help your business. Challenge groups are one of the most natural ways to build your team. So I know a lot of you guys get freaked out about the idea of telling someone about the business opportunity or trying to recruit coaches to your team and you get all skeeved out about it. Well, if that's you and you get really nervous, then you should be putting all of your energy into having really killer challenge groups because challenge groups build you coaches naturally. It just happens. You don't even have to really do anything. If you're running really great challenge groups and people are having really incredible experiences, naturally you're going to have some of those people who want to sign up as discount coaches because they're going to want to keep trying other programs or they're going to want to stay on Shakeology. And they're going to want, that discount is nothing to scoff at. Saving 25% on Shakeology is great. So that's going to happen naturally, and that's going to help build your team. Then next, you're going to have some people who have really incredible results, who are like me, who have tried everything before, nothing worked, and then they're going to join a challenge group, and this is finally going to work. And they're going to just love it with their whole heart, the same way I did. And they're going to start telling everybody about it. Their friends are going to notice. They're going to start telling their friends. And then they're going to realize, oh my gosh, I could be doing this. I could be a coach. And so you're going to have those people too. These two photos on the right side, right here and right here, are two challengers who were posting about Beachbody and their excitement without, even having a coach reason to do it. So you're going to naturally have that happen. Now let's talk about looking for coaches in your challenge group, because since you know this is going to happen, you can kind of be proactive about it. So encourage your challengers to publicly share. One of the things I like to do is encourage my challengers to take a picture when their challenge pack comes and post it publicly on social media as a way of them keeping themselves accountable outside of the group. Because if you go online and you tell everyone you're committing to a month-long fitness thing and then you drop off halfway through, inevitably somebody's going to ask you what happens. You're going to feel that accountability. So that's really good for people to kind of have that. It's also great because it helps them realize that it's not scary to share about this kind of stuff. In your group, look for leaders and encourage them. If you notice that there's a challenge and they post funny things and they go above and beyond and they really encourage other people and maybe they're answering other people's questions and you kind of get in there and you're like, oh, this person already did my work for me. Encourage them. Tell them that they're a leader. Tell them that they're inspiring and do it publicly. In your group, praise them and encourage them. This over here is a screenshot from one of my challenge groups of one of my challengers who was always so inspiring, and she would always post the funniest things just to cheer people up. And I made a little mental note. I was like, this girl could actually be a good coach. And I actually talked to her about it, and she is now signed up as a coach. But I had my eyes on her. You can make a little note of, even if you want to put it on a little sticky note, be like, these are people who might be good coaches. I'm going to keep my eyes on them in my group. If you're doing a month-long challenge group, during week 3, it's really natural to talk about the discount, because that's about the time when people's Shakeology auto ship is going to be going through again. And if they are really loving Shakeology and they want to stay on it, this is a great time for them to sign up as a coach and get the discount on that next month's Shakeology. So you can go into your challenge group and just do a post and just, be very honest and say, hey, I know that a lot of you guys are loving Shakeology and you want to keep going on it, and maybe you want to keep going in my next challenge group or try another program. Well, did you know that you can sign up as a coach and get 25% off all of those things? If you want to know more, let me know. And it can be that simple. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And inevitably, you're going to have some people that ask you about it. And then during the last week of your challenge group, go ahead and actually reach out to those people who you had pinpointed, like I was saying, like this girl, that you wrote them down, and send them a little message and just say like, hey, I really appreciated you in the challenge group. You are such a leader. You are so inspiring. You are pretty much doing what I do as a coach. Have you ever thought about coaching? Because I think you'd be a real natural at it. And just open up the conversation with them. And inevitably, if you're running consistent, successful challenge groups, those people are going to come up and they're going to be interested. Okay, let's talk a little bit about why these successful challengers make really great coaches. Well, because they've already had results. So you don't have to wait around for them to go through a challenge or start a program. They've already done it. So that's pretty simple. And they're already excited about it because they've had results. They've had this great experience. They already know that they love the product, and that is naturally going to translate to them wanting to have a discount on it or even get it for free by earning commissions and having it kind of even out. And then they have real experience to draw from. So you guys, I think that this is so critical, is the best coaches are going to be people who can really share from an authentic place. If you have someone that contacts you that wants to be a coach and they kind of just see the business potential, that is fantastic. But it's not till they have a real experience with the products that they're going to be able to be super, super on fire coaches in an authentic way, because they're not going to have that story. One of the reasons I've been so successful is because I can speak with 100% conviction about challenge groups, about Shakeology, about Beachbody's programs, and tell people that they work for me, that they could work for them. And I never feel like I'm sales pitching anyone, because I think that they're pretty much the best thing that's happened since sliced bread, and I'm happy to tell anybody about it because my experience was that good. And that's the same with challengers that had really great experiences. So that's why it really is important to commit to running challenge groups every month and really put energy into making sure that they're good for your challengers and making sure that your challengers have really great experiences, because you never know when someone like me is going to come up. I'm sure that Lindsay, when she first saw me or heard from me, didn't think that I was going to be like a crazy coach that is like all 100% in with Beachbody. I had 75 pounds to lose. I did not look like a fitness coach. I was frazzled. I was exhausted. I was running around like a crazy person. I was out of time. I was stressed. And I didn't even know if I could afford my challenge pack, let alone to be coaching and getting Shakeology every month. But my experience in that challenge group was so great that I knew that there was no other option for me. I just knew that I had to do this and help other people do it too. And once I saw the potential, I was set for life. I was ready to go. So that can happen for you guys too with your challengers. All right, wrapping it up, I wanted to break it down for my personality types. If you guys are new and you haven't taken this fun little gem personality quiz, it's in our team page. But it basically is just kind of breaks you down into these different personality types. And I thought it would be fun to talk about how different personality types can make challenge groups really work with their strengths. So first, for my emerald personality types, you are my organizers. You're my people who love stuff in order. You like to have stuff organized and color-coded, and you're on top of things. So for you guys, really play into your strengths for organizing, because there are a lot of people like me who lack that strength. We just don't have it. And the idea of sitting down to create a color-coded meal plan makes our eyes go crisscrossed. So if you have a natural talent for that, go ahead and play that up. Maybe you can talk about how your challenge group is going to be a month of getting in shape and getting organized. And you're going to teach people how to do it. You're going to teach people how to meal plan. You're going to make it simple. Maybe you're going to create these really awesome meal plans for them. Show them exactly how to break down the 21-day fix, because that's a strength of yours. So you might as well use it. For all my sapphires, you're my party people, my people who don't want to have to work. You just want to have a good time. Everything needs to be fun, or it's not worth doing. I love it. You are the life of coaching. You are the ones that make everything fun. You bring the energy up. So go ahead and make your challenge groups fun. Don't feel like you have to create crazy, elaborate meal plans or these crazy things that make your brain go crisscross. Your talent is fun. And for a lot of people, fitness is not fun. Fitness is horrible. So use your strength to bring fun into it. I'm actually posting examples from 4 different coaches of these personality types. This emerald one is from Melanie Mitro. This is Bonnie Engel, and she is so much fun, and she makes everything fun. And I just imagine her challenge groups being like one big party. This down here is Brittany Leggett. For all of my rubies who are super self-motivated and driven, and you have to be the best, and you always want to be number one, make it a contest. Make your challenge groups into a contest. Give people a little bit of healthy competition, and show off results. Don't be afraid to show off your results. If you're a Ruby and you've worked for it, then show it off, because that is what's going to make you feel fired up and excited. Be bold. Post those bold quotes. Be the leader of the pack. Go ahead and charge forth in your challenge group. You be the first person posting your workout. You be the one that is the most consistent. Use that competitive nature and that drive to be the best to really fuel you. And for my pearls, my sweet, sweet pearls who want to be encouraging and they never want to, make anyone feel uncomfortable, and they really want to help. If that's you, find ways to be the encourager. There are definitely ways to do that without letting people take advantage of you. So my pearls always slip into this trap of wanting to help everybody so much that they make a lot of exceptions for people, and that's very sweet, but at the end of the day, it ends up letting people take advantage of you. So don't let that happen. Set your boundaries in your challenge groups. Let them be there, and know that boundaries are not you being mean. Boundaries are actually you being loving. Think about it like parenting or training a dog. You need those boundaries for people to know how to act and how to behave, and for everybody to have clear expectations, and for everybody to be happy. So those boundaries are good, and they're going to protect you, and they're going to protect all of your customers and challengers. But you can still be an encourager. This is Brandy Hamilton, and she is such a pearl, and she is so sweet, and it took her a while to kind of find that balance with herself of feeling strong and like she could assert herself, but also nurturing that pearl side of her personality that really wanted to just be the helper and be the nurturer and the mom, the mom for everybody. That's kind of another way to describe pearls. They're like the group mom. But she posts really inspiring things, and she talks a lot about gratefulness, and she posts inspiring quotes, and a lot of it from the heart. So if you're a pearl, you have a natural ability to be able to get deep with people, to be able to get to the emotions, to connect on a deeper level, to really touch people. And that's a talent. And you should really be excited that you have that skill. So really utilize it. For pearls, a lot of the times, running some of those smaller free challenges is a great option, because a lot of the times my pearls hate having to tell people no. So if someone doesn't want to buy a challenge pack, they hate that idea and they want to make an exception and let them in their group anyway. Don't do it. Don't break the rules. Keep your boundaries. But maybe decide to run, like a 1 week healthy eating challenge, or a 1 week hydrating challenge, where you let anybody in who wants to come in and you help them for that week, and you do it, on your own terms. And that way you're really able to help people and encourage people without sacrificing your own boundaries. All right, so we're wrapping up. This is a little recap from last week. Just some training updates. Every first Monday, I'm going to be hosting a 10 Days to Emerald. Every third, an Emerald to Diamond. So the first Monday is coming up. If you are a new coach and you have completed your new coach training, you are invited, and you're not yet an Emerald, you're invited to join my 10-day to Emerald training. We're just going to be kind of talking a little bit on how to get those first 2 coaches signed up, how to understand how to get them placed on the right legs, understanding what Emerald means, all of those kinds of things. So if you're brand new and you need to get through your coach training, excuse me, sorry, my throat is so dry. Everybody should have it by now. If for some reason you don't have it, get in touch with me and I'll hook you up with it. And you can kind of get going with it this weekend. And if you still want to be in the group, just let me know, and you can kind of finish your new coach training while we're starting the group. We'll let it overlap a little bit so you guys can get plugged in. And then for the Emerald to Diamond, to qualify for that, you need to be an Emerald. You need to be a paid Emerald rank the Thursday before this group starts. So the Thursday of the second week of the month. And you need to have qualified for Success Club the previous month. So my Emerald to Diamond people need to be committed to Success Club, because as a Diamond coach, you really should be hitting Success Club every month, because Diamond means that you're a leader, and that's just something that leaders need to do. So you can get working on that for the next couple. If you want to try and make it to that, maybe make Emerald your goal for the first 2 weeks of March so you can do that training. Lastly, team-wide, if you have hit Success Club in the previous month, I'm opening up 20-minute mentoring. Be one of my personally sponsored coaches. You could be a grand coach or great-grand coach or great-great-great-grand coach, however many levels down for me you are. If you've hit Success Club the month before, so if you hit Success Club this month, you can schedule a 20-minute mentoring Zoom with me next month. So if you've already qualified and you want to get in my calendar, go ahead and send me a message, and I'll send you my availability, and you can claim a spot. And if you want to do that and you're not yet at Success Club, push for these next 2 days. I know that you can do it, and I'll get you in my calendar afterwards. So that is the end of our call. Let me stop sharing and switch over.